Derek sat alone at the corner table of the university's vibrant cafe, tapping his pen on his notebook absent-mindedly. His laptop was open in front of him, but the words on the screen blurred together as he stared out the window. It was a rainy Thursday afternoon, and the campus was quieter than usual, with students either in class or huddled in dorm rooms studying. Derek was used to being alone. He had always been somewhat of an introvert, but today the silence felt different. It was more profound, more isolating. Derek was in his third year at university studying computer science. He had always excelled academically, his sharp mind allowing him to navigate through his courses with ease. But socially, things were different. Derek didn't have many friends. Sure, he had acquaintances, classmates who nodded in the halls, fellow students who worked on projects together, but the deep connections, the kind of friendships where you felt truly seen and understood, were absent from his life. He had always been too focused on his studies, his ambitions, to realize that something was missing. But today, he couldn't shake the feeling that maybe, just maybe, his life needed more than just grades and achievements. It was then that she walked in. Her name was Maya, and she was in his history class. Derek had noticed her before. How could he not? She was confident, charismatic, the type of person who naturally drew people toward her. Her laughter was like a melody, and she had a way of making everyone around her feel like they mattered. But Derek had never really spoken to her. She was one of those people who seemed so out of reach, so effortlessly popular, that he felt like he had nothing in common with her. But today, as Maya entered the cafe and scanned the room, their eyes met. She smiled at him, and for a brief moment, Derek's heart skipped a beat. Maya, who was always surrounded by a group of friends, was alone today. She hesitated for a moment, and then, almost as if on instinct, she walked toward Derek's table. "Hey, Derek, right?" she asked, her voice warm and inviting. Derek blinked, surprised that she knew his name. Yeah. Hi, Maya, right?" "That's me," she said with a smile. "Mind if I sit down? I was hoping to get some work done, and it looks like you've got the perfect spot." "Sure," Derek replied, gesturing to the seat across from him. Maya sat down, placing her bag on the table. She pulled out her laptop and began typing away, but her eyes kept glancing up at Derek. It was clear she wasn't just focused on work. There was something in the way she looked at him, something that made Derek feel like she actually cared about what he had to say, something that made him feel seen for the first time in a long while. "So, how's history going for you?" Maya asked, breaking the silence. Derek hesitated. He wasn't used to small talk, but there was something about Maya that made him want to engage. It's okay. A bit challenging, but I'm getting through it. How about you?" "I'm doing well, but I don't know. Sometimes it feels like no matter how hard I try, I just can't keep up with everything. It's like there's always something more to do, and I'm always a step behind. But I guess that's just university life, huh?" Derek was taken aback by her honesty. Most people, especially those like Maya, who appeared to have everything under control, would never admit to feeling overwhelmed. "Yeah, I get that," Derek said quietly. "Sometimes it feels like I'm just going through the motions, like I'm not really living, just surviving." Maya nodded, her expression softening. "I think we all feel like that sometimes. It's easy to get caught up in what everyone else expects of us, whether it's grades or friendships or whatever, and forget that we're allowed to have moments where we just breathe." Derek felt a weight lifting off his shoulders. For the first time in a long time, he felt like he wasn't alone in his struggles. He thought about his own isolation, how he buried himself in his work to avoid confronting the loneliness that always followed him. But here was Maya, someone who seemed so put together, yet admitting that she too felt the pressure. "Thanks," Derek said, his voice quieter now. I guess I've been so focused on trying to be the best at everything that I forgot it's okay to not have it all together. Maya smiled gently. Exactly. We don't have to be perfect. We just have to be real. For the next hour, they talked. Not about assignments or deadlines, but about life, about the things that weighed them down, and the moments of joy that made it all worth it. Derek was surprised at how easy it was to talk to her, how natural the conversation felt. He hadn't realized how much he needed someone to listen, to share his thoughts with until now. As the conversation wrapped up, Maya stood up, slinging her bag over her shoulder. I'm glad we talked, Derek. I know it's easy to get lost in the grind, but you don't have to do it all by yourself. If you ever want to chat, or if you just need someone to hang out with, let me know. Derek's heart swelled with gratitude. It wasn't just the words she had said, but the way she had said them. That sense of genuine empathy and understanding. He smiled, feeling something shift inside of him. Thanks, Maya. I think I might take you up on that sometime. As she walked away, Derek sat there for a few moments, reflecting on the conversation. There was a warmth in his chest, a kind of clarity that had eluded him for so long. Maybe he didn't need to keep everything bottled up. Maybe it was okay to reach out, to connect, to share the weight of his struggles with others. Over the next few weeks, Derek and Maya began meeting more frequently. What started as casual conversations in the cafe turned into long walks around campus, late-night study sessions, and honest talks about their fears, hopes, and dreams. Derek began to realize something he had never considered before: the importance of empathy, of treating others the way he wished to be treated. One evening, as they sat in the library, Maya looked over at Derek and asked, "How's everything going? You seem different." "Happier, maybe." Derek smiled, surprised at how much she had noticed. "I guess I am. I've been thinking a lot about what you said, about how we don't have to do everything alone. I've started reaching out more, not just to you, but to other people too. I guess I never realized how powerful empathy can be, how it's not just about understanding others, but about letting others understand you." Maya's face softened, her eyes warm with pride. "I'm really glad to hear that, Derek. You're a great guy. You just needed to give yourself permission to be human." That night, as Derek walked back to his dorm, he felt lighter. The weight that had hung over him for so long had begun to lift piece by piece. He understood now that empathy wasn't just about offering support to others. It was also about allowing yourself to receive it. It was about being kind to others in the way you would want them to be kind to you, not out of obligation, but out of genuine care and connection. Months passed, and the friendships Derek built, starting with Maya, flourished. He no longer felt like an outsider watching life unfold from a distance. He began to experience the beauty of true connection, of offering kindness and understanding to others and receiving it in return. The power of empathy had transformed his world. Derek no longer viewed relationships as transactions or obligations. Instead, he saw them for what they truly were: opportunities to connect, to be seen, to be heard. One afternoon, as Derek sat with Maya in the cafe once more, she looked at him with a smile. "You've come a long way, Derek. I'm proud of you." And for the first time in his life, Derek realized he was proud of himself too. Because in learning to treat others as he wished to be treated, he had finally found the peace and connection he had been searching for all along. The power of empathy had not only changed his life, it had given him the gift of truly living it.